Chapter 8, verse 1. And God remembered Noah and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. Chapter 8, verse 1, footnotes. God, Hebrew Elohim, the Creator, because every living creature is included. Compare chapter 7, verse 16. Remembered. Figure Anthropopathia, see Appendix 6. Wind. Hebrew Ruach, see Appendix 9. Verse 2. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. Verse 2 footnotes. Hebrew windows, Hebrew Arubath, see note on 7:11. Verse 3. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the end of the 150 days the waters were abated. There's no footnotes. Verse 4. And the ark, let me grab that a little bit better here. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. 4 rested Saturday, the 7th day. Compare 7:4. Verse 5. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, there were the tops of the mountains seen. Verse 5 footnotes. First day, Tuesday, the only day named that is not a Sabbath. Verse 6. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. Footnote, window, Hebrew shalon, a small aperture. Compare 7:11, not A2. Same as Joshua 2:18-21, 1 Kings chapter 6 verse 4, Ezekiel chapter 40 verse 16, and chapter 41 verses 16 and 26. Verse 7. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. 7. Raven, an unclean bird. Leviticus 11:15, Deuteronomy 14:14. Verse 8. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. Verse 8 footnote. Dove, a clean bird. Deuteronomy 14:11. Verse 9. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, and took her, and pulled her into him into the ark. Verse 9 footnote, there is none. Verse 10. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. Verse 10 footnote 7. These 7. Another Sabbath, 18th day of the 11th month. Verse 11. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. 11 footnote, olive leaf, Hebrew, a newly sprouted olive leaf. Verse 12. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and set forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. Verse 12 footnote 7. Saturday, 25th day of the 11th month. 13. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the water The waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. 13 footnotes. 601st year, i.e., of Noah's life, the first month, the first day. 6 such important dates in the Bible. 1. Here, the drying up of the waters, 8:13. 2. The setting up of the tabernacle by Moses, Exodus 42. 3. The sanctification of cleansed up temple by Hezekiah, 2 Chronicles chapter 29, verse 17. 4. The going up of Ezra, 7:9. 5. The giving up of strange wives, Ezra 10:17. And 6. The offering up of a bullock in Ezekiel's future temple, Ezekiel 45:18. Verse 14. And in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. Footnotes. 27th day of the second month, completing 1 solar year from chapter 7, verse 11. 15. And God spake unto Noah, saying, 15 footnote, God Elohim, the Creator, speaking from without. Compare 7:16 and 8:1. 16. Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. 16. Go forth, Hebrew, Z, but in chapter 7:1, Jehovah from within, come thou, Hebrew, bo, or ba'ah. Compare 7:1. 17. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth. Chapter 17, footnote. Lost my cursor. Okay, there it is. 17. Bring forth, Elohim, speaking from without. Verse 18. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. No footnotes. Verse 19. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. No footnotes. The beginning of verse 20. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took every clean beast and of, well, the footnote here is altar, the first mention in Scripture. So, and took every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. The footnotes are continued right here. Offered, Hebrew, Allah, Appendix 43, 1:6, and burnt offerings, Hebrew, Olah, Appendix 43, 2:2. Chapter 21. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more living thing, as I have done. Chapter 21. Footnotes. The Lord, Jehovah, in covenant relationship, smelled a sweet savor. Hebrew, smelled a smell. Figure polyptotin. Appendix 6. Savor. First occurrence. Hebrew, neoah. Found only in this connection. Rest, acquiescence. In his heart. Figure, anthropopathia. Appendix 6. In condescension and for emphasis. 4 equals although, as in Exodus 13:17, 2 Samuel 23:5, Psalm 49:18, Habakkuk 3:17. Verse 22. Well, the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Verse 22 footnotes. While Jehovah's covenant with Noah was unconditional in connection with the earth, as was Abraham to give him the land, chapter 15, and with David to give him the throne, 2 Samuel 7. And note the figure polysyndeton, Appendix 6, 7 times in this verse to emphasize the completeness and perfection of the covenant, Appendix 10. 8 things named in 4 pairs of opposites.